Aluminium Shadow Poo!
Hello, welcome to the Bronze Age Monster Shadow Show. This is a show we make every other week for our loyal patrons. This season, in tandem with our Atlas Seaboard season, we have been kind of batting cleanup a little bit, talking about all the stuff that we've really wanted to talk about in the years we've done this show. This is the 130th episode of our bonus. It's the 131st episode of our bonus/shadow show, where we've done just about everything. But if you're a patron and you're watching this, you know, you've already watched a lot of it too, probably. So, and this time we're going to do a segment of Matt's that's been very popular called Kickstarter Ketchup.
Kickstarter Ketchup. Does it cut the mustard? Reading with relish. All the hot dog stuff. Kickstarter Ketchup. Kickstarter Ketchup. Kickstarter Ketchup. All right, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So this is something we backed a year ago?
At least a year ago.
Showed up I think they showed up in the spring or last whatever, but we backed two things. And I haven't had a chance to read this yet. Jacob has, but this is a choose your own adventure comic book, which was like, I was like, cool, that's whatever. But I was excited about this, which is Daystar by Matt Emmons and Aaron Losty. And we've talked about Matt Emmons before, I think in early, before it was a shadow show. I think I talked about Gardner. Mm-hmm. And I hope you still have my copy. I couldn't find it. I think you have. Okay.
I do.
Okay, good. So that's where I fell in love with him. He was in an anthology I supported pre-COVID called Dagger Dagger. That was a dark kind of arts and dark fantasy kind of weird, like underground indie comics artist stuff anthology book. And I discovered him there. And then I think that's why Kickstarter showed me when Gardner got started. Back that blew my mind. Absolutely loved him. And I was like, whatever this guy does, I'm there. I believe the next big project was Council of Frogs, which we backed. Loved it. We reviewed it on the show. It was a Kickstarter catch-up. And there was one called The Winter King, I believe, that is a wordless story about a fox in a post-apocalyptic like winterscape. And I haven't actually read it yet. I did back it, but that was before we started doing the show backing things. So this one we backed together. We got 2 copies. And so I just read it. I think Jacob, you said you read it a while ago. I threw it on a pile, my ever heightening pile of stuff to read, and wanted to get to it. And and then I realized like Thursday or Friday, like, Matt Emmons is not something you just read on the day of and talk about it. I want to read this and like let it sit with it for a couple of days. So I read it, I think Friday, and I'm ready to talk about it. So we're going to do like a spoiler-free thing here. We did not get a digital version, I don't believe, when we backed it. So I'm not going to show a ton of art, just some of the art that's available on the Kickstarter page or in reviews that were released for the press reviews. So just a little bit of art. But if you've seen us talk about Gardner and us talk about Council of Frogs, you know what his art style is largely like. He's pivoted post-Gardner to kind of being into the animal world, doing this kind of Rats of Nim, Lord of the Rings, but all with animals kind of scope stuff. So we're going to not spoil, but talk about themes and the general premise of this thing. So what did you think?
I loved it. And I think definitely, I think it's even self-described kind of as Lovecraftian in a way. And and so this is color out of space, right? Is probably what is, it's what it's most influenced by. 100%. So I think color out of space with animals become sentient. And I loved it. I mean, the art is so gorgeous. And I mean, the first part, before this meteor lands, the first part is really wordless until, sentience kind of comes in. It's a rat Or would you say a rat or a mouse? I think it's a.
I think they're
rats too. Yeah, so it's a rat named Mesmo, and then we kind of just meet these characters throughout, and it becomes kind of it leans pretty heavy into the horror from then on, and it's very disturbing at parts, but in a way that is very uniquely Matt Emmons. I mean, his stuff is so just unique. I don't know what to compare it to. Obviously, the story was influenced by Lovecraft, and it's from a script by Matt Emmons and Aaron Losty. And there's some good back matter in this too that kind of talks about how they came up with the story, different designs for all the animals and creatures in this, and I don't know. I really got attached to it, and it really hit me very deeply. And it is horrifying. It's a horror story. This is not Council of Frogs.
No. I mean, I started reading it, and so I mean, it's not. I think it's spoiling anything to talk about what happens in chapter 1 or the end of the prelude, or whatever. So. There's essentially a wrecked ship in the swamp, and all these swamp animals that live around it and in it, and they're just doing their animal thing. And then a meteor falls out of the sky and embeds itself in the hull of the ship, and starts to the colors even change. So it starts off with just like duochromatic. Everything is orange and red. Orange and blue, I mean. And it's this, nice scene. You get this, it's almost like the start of Up, this beautiful little rat couple going out and doing their rat couple things, and they're brainless, just living and surviving. Then the meteor comes, the color palette changes to green and purple, and this thing starts emanating out this energy, and it creates sentience in all of the animals. And so all of a sudden there's talking and dialogue, and animals have names that had no names before. And as Jacob is saying, it's like it is infecting everything, and progressively. I mean, imagine the way an irradiated meteor would affect things. And if you've seen or read The Color Out of Space, you know where this is going. It becomes horrifying, and by the end, like at first, it got so weird and so dark, and like a character had like a half of a scissor, and some tape to their back, like with medical tape to make like a strap, like they're going on a mission. And I was like, this is getting so dark, it's almost like Mandy. And then I went to it's Color Out of Space. Yeah. I got to that space, but it stuck to me, man. Like it was disturbing. A lot of body horror. I mean, these creatures are living and around and worshiping a meteorite that is highly radioactive. So your mind can go to what these things start doing. Animals lose their minds. Some of them worship it. Some of them do gross things to their bodies to show fealty to this thing and to worship it. And they take in irradiated things so they can get more connected to it and to the stars. And it is dark as shit. Yeah. And I fucking loved it.
Yeah, me too. It really does stick with you. I mean, it's dark as hell. It has to be the darkest thing he's done, or at least the darkest thing I've read of his.
Gardner gets pretty dark, but I think this is consistently more dark. Gardner gets to the place where it's like you're in a dream, you're running down a tunnel and the tunnel's collapsing behind you, and it's just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. This is just like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
There is no escape. No. Like there is no possibility of getting out. You're just cooked, literally.
Yeah. But then you're right. I mean, just the fact that, but it also just drops you in a world where it's just like, there's just this wrecked ship in a swamp.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of where all this action takes place. And it's, it's horrifying. If you've read or have seen us talk about Matt Emmons stuff before, the art is gorgeous, and it's gorgeous in a strange way. There's a lot of stuff that's ineffable about Emmons' work that you can't compare it to other things, and you can't even really find the correct words to use to describe it.
That's why I'm so attached to him, I think. I mean, he's a great storyteller, but his art, it's refined, but it's raw. It's like, everything's like these paradoxical, like, how is it this if it's that? But it is. Like, I mean, I would just hang on a panel and just see like, okay, well, here's this badger looking at something, and it's like you can see the felt marker where like he drew it in pencil, he clearly went over like in magic markers and like different colored purple pens, and you can see where he went over here a couple more times, so it's a little bit dark. You can see the nib of the pen, like it's so tactile and real.
Yeah,
like And I mean, so it's not super processed. I think there's a couple times in there where he actually did do some color treatments to show like radiation. I was like, whoa, seeing like modern stuff done to this is like very jarring because it's so real. So this is the whatever the opposite of like encountering radioactivity and getting superpowers and having a great life. This is the opposite of that.
It sure is.
And there's a I won't say any more about it beyond that. There's like a character that's like a what do you call that? Like a seer, like a when you go and they tell you the truth. What do you call that? Totally
like an oracle.
Like the Greek oracle. Thank you, Jesus. There's a character that's like an oracle to the main character, and it's just so haunting because, I mean, the way these animals are ravaged by this radiation, they're hard to look at. Like, and they're dying. It's like Chernobyl. Like everyone's just falling apart, and they're just living whatever life they have in the whatever weird human-like way that sentience made them, right? None of these animals would do these horrible, disturbing things to each other if they didn't have sentience. That's what makes humans the greatest monster is we have these minds. That's why you think like, what if I just dig up this body and ate cereal out of the skull? Yeah. Like no animal fucking thinks that. That's Ed Gein, motherfucker. Yeah. Like that's just fucking the grossness of thought. You have to have sentience to think of disgusting, horrible things to do to other people. And you see them happening in this. And I'm not, this isn't This isn't Garth Ennis, like crossing every line that you can possibly cross. It's not that disturbing, but it's just, these are beautiful, natural creatures being awoken against their will to have thought and then being in the worst possible situation any living thing could be in and just watching it all play out. It is gutting.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But it's gorgeous and is something
cannot recommend.
Yeah, I'm really glad I read it, but it was really disturbing. But I loved it. Yeah,
there was a couple times where I was like, I took a long lunch break to read it Friday, and I was like laying on the bed, and there was a couple times where I just kind of found myself like holding my breath a little bit through sequences, like knowing like where it's going or whatever. It's kind of like I found myself just like not breathing, just because it's so tense and sad and weird. So whenever a comic affects me physically like that, I'm blown away by the power of that. So
I feel that its length serves it too, because if it was longer, I think it would be too much. It's pretty short.
Yeah. What would you say? 90 some pages? 120 pages maybe?
Maybe.
But, yeah. But I mean, it's small form and and there's not a lot of talking, but there is talking. But yeah, it's like 7 chapters and, I will, again, Matt Emmons creating something unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I have no idea how much attention that guy gets in the comics reading community, how much, people are, how many eyes are on him. I sure wish he was a household name because I think he deserves it 100%.
Yeah, same. I don't know. Second at best publishes. And is it his publishing house?
That's
okay,
his
yeah.
imprint, yeah.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, but yeah, you're right. If he's not huge, I don't know why he's not huge.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I follow some indie dudes I like, other people that I've maybe talked about on the Shadow Show and stuff like that, just different, people that are in the Portland community, otherwise that just smaller indie cool comics creators. And like I follow them on all forms of social media, and I've never seen any of them even repost a Kickstarter campaign, post his art, mention him. Like, I just feel like there's so many people making cool stuff that stuff like this just gets lost.
No, it's sad.
It's just, it's baffling. Like I said, he should be a household name. He is in my house. Yeah. So, again, if you are just here for, weird 70s stuff and wonder why we talk about all this weird shit, might not be for you, but you're seeing some of the art. I can't recommend enough. It's deeply affecting and engrossing short work that will live with me inside of me forever. I will never forget the ride, and I'm going to read it again.
Same.
Not straight away, but did you read it again for this?
Yeah, I read it again for this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious what it reads like a second time when you kind of know what's going on, because the first time you're very much kind of sussing out like what's going on the first half of it, and then just watching it kind of go through its inevitable
Still
steps.
just as disturbing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, again, yeah, I think Color Out of Space, a little bit of Mandy, just for the psychedelic nightmarish quality to it that it gets, but definitely Color Out of Space is the if you read cosmic horror related to this, that's what they're referencing, and it's deeply rooted in the work.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chernobyl, Color Out of Space, just fun stuff.
All the most fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, me too. Highly recommend. So, all right, for our next show, Matt, we are going to read Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan. Yeah, Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan did a series in the early 80s. Is it 1980?
Mm-hmm.
81, yeah, called Night Force that we've threatened to talk about for years.
Yeah.
And we're finally going to get around to talking about it. So I'm excited to do that.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like I think I mentioned on an earlier one, like this is Wolfman said in an interview that he was excited to do something a little more sophisticated than he got to do with Tomb of Dracula. So very curious what he offers.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, we toyed with the idea of rolling a die and reading one of the issues randomly, but I think we'll just read the first issue and just see how they set up shop.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Did you find your copy that I sent to you forever ago?
No.
Did it ever turn up?
Not yet, but I will. If not, I'll just read the first issue online.
Okay. Sweet. Well, yeah, folks, I'm also going to check out Aaron Losty. I did look him up on social media and I followed him. He hasn't done a ton of stuff. Like something for an anthology, like 2 or 3 other things that he linked to in his link tree. So, yeah, like you said, there's cool back matter here that explains how they kind of jammed this idea together, then developed it back and forth, and then he wrote the script. I would read more from this guy as well.
Yeah, me too.
If this is any indication of his type of writing, he's made a fan out of me. So yeah,
cool.
Oldie.
Yeah.
2 claws up.
2 claws up for me. Going old school there.
Old school.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Next episode, we'll talk about Night Force. But as we always say, until then, hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Bukowski always said, read Fonte. I'm saying drink Kroger Blackberry Citrus.
We didn't plan
That's
it.
how I
we
ended.
both just drank it.
That's how I end my interviews.
Yeah. Read Fonte.